revel in some Italian operatic glitz on a coast nearby. Share the secrets behind choosing your ultimate wine and discover which wine stole the judges' hearts. How did this R&B talent go solo and win 3 Grammys in the process? And learn from a woman in the know which of the world's heart-stopping gems take her breath away.
Welcome to Dolce Vita. March is a very special month. Do you know why, Vanessa?
Because it's the 1-year anniversary of Dolce Vita.
Absolutely. But other than our anniversary, a lot of great things happen in this month throughout history. For example, the Eiffel Tower was inaugurated in March 1889.
So the tower's been brought into glitz for the last 100 years?
Right. And wouldn't it have been great to spend Dolce Vita's 1-year anniversary in Paris?
Well, why go so far when I know just the place you guys can all go really near here?
Italian food in Macau today, and I know we've been to many Italian restaurants in the last few months, so you probably have a very good idea of what Italian culture is all about. So let me quiz you.
Go for it. I'm ready for the challenge.
Besides Italian cuisine, what other things are Italians proud of?
Fashion, art, Italian opera. I just love those Italian classical tenors.
Wow, Vanessa, you could totally read my mind now. Well, the restaurant that we're going to be going to has a big relationship with Italian operas and theaters. Facing the performance lake, the pleasure of taste and sight become one sensory experience.
Sitting here is like being in an opera house, except in theater, you don't have the open kitchen in the back.
I think this is quite a match to the theater idea because before the performance, people usually spend hours and hours preparing for the show in the backstage and hopefully do the best at the show.
Right, it's kind of like the cooks spending long hours in the kitchen preparing delicious dishes for us.
Well, let's go find out what the cook is up to. We are people of curiosity, right? Scallops are very tender as they're cooked quickly, and so should always be patted dry before they're put into a hot pan or an oven. The scallops in this dish are cooked in 3 different ways. One is freshly steamed and is then placed on a bread shell. The other is broiled in garlic butter and is served with Parmesan cheese sauce. And the most luxurious one is definitely the one being pan-fried, which is topped with a thin layer of truffle and is laid on top of some sun-dried tomato paste. I always believe a little seasonings wouldn't hurt. All of the 3 cooking methods do not only add a little uniqueness to the juicy scallops, but also make them even more delicious and tender. And the sauce made from Parmesan cheese is fantastic, rich and creamy with a touch of white wine. We just can't leave out any of the delicious sauce, so believe it or not, we mopped it all up with a superb crispy bread shell. This beef tenderloin is perfectly medium rare, very tender and juicy. I personally really like it with foie gras. If you have a chance to try beef and foie gras together, you'll just find the taste totally irresistible. Many traditional Italian pizzas are topped with mozzarella cheese, which is made from buffalo milk and has a stronger flavor.
Now it's time for the real show.
Well, this pizza looks great, and I know the Italians love pizzas. But where are pizzas from?
Well, I know a little bit about that. The foundation of the base were first baked by the Greeks, who basically baked round, flat, large breads and topped them with various toppings like olive oil, spices, things like that.
Since flatbreads are relatively cheap to make, so they're sold all over to Naples by the street vendors. And here we have the waterfront show again. Look, it's dancing not only to music, but fire as well.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, have I passed your quiz yet? Where's my prize?
You already had it. The food, the show. Can't be too greedy.
I'm not greedy, but more grateful. And to let you know, I'm going to treat you to an authentic concert tonight.
Yay.
Surprised?
Don't let the celebration stop right here.
We should all play a board game or something. Invite Jason along, too.
Did you know that Monopoly was invented March 1933?
That means it's older than our grandmas.
Can you believe it? It's so legendary because it's still so popular nowadays.
Well, sometimes antiques need to be treasured because they're invaluable.
Just like wine, I think we should toast on this special occasion.
This This is the much anticipated WinPack 2007. It's a week-long event filled with a series of wine tastings, masterclasses, and also vineyard lunches. I'm here at a 4-day-long event where we can taste loads of New World wines, and it's creating a huge buzz in Hong Kong.
Organised by the International Wine and Food Society, WinPack is traditionally considered to be Asia's largest and most successful wine fair. It takes place once a year, and this year it managed to raise 200,000 Hong Kong dollars for the street children of Cambodia. Vanessa attended the wine game, which pictures the tasting talents of the international judges against Hong Kong's finest experts, with WinPack participants being the third judging pool.
And in fact was the law.
Wine judging is a grueling process, especially this year with over 1,000 of the finest New World wines to be tasted. However, the elite panel of wine experts ploughed through them all. The best wine of the show was the Juniper Crossing Chardonnay 2004. The best white wine was the Gallo Family Vineyards Sonoma County Chardonnay 2002. And the best red wine was the Claymore Walk on the Wild Side Shiraz Viognier 2005. And we chatted with the judges. Peter Lehman, twice the winner of the Winemaker of the Year award, Wayne Donaldson, who's crafted some of the best red wines around, and Sam Neill, whose own Pinot Noirs are a sought-after cult wine.
Today we're lucky enough to have an interview with Peter Lehman, Sam Neill, and Wayne Donaldson about wine. So gentlemen, I'd like to ask you a little bit. I understand that old wines are from more traditional countries, for instance France, Germany, Italy, and the New World wine from Australia and the Pacific Rim. I mean, what are your opinions on the differences between them? Do you have a preference, or?
Oh, I think there will always be, you know, vive la différence. There'll always be, even within a country or the same region, there will be differences. But I think, as Sam mentioned the other day, that as winemakers, we tend to look back to the traditional areas to get a standard in our mind for the style of wine to make. And then possibly what we try and do is, again, your words, and let the grapes express themselves. But as winemakers, we try and improve in our own environment on the standards that we have mentally set.
Yeah.
If you can follow that, agree with that?
Yeah, I think so, Peter. I think, you know, the old world wines and the new world wines are, you know, very unique in themselves. I mean, to Peter's point, we in the new world take a little of learning from the old world. But, you know, really wine's about a place, regardless of whether it's the new world or the old world. Wine represents a place, and great wine comes from all over this beautiful planet. So it's in essence is about the place.
Can you run through the different awards and categories and what you're looking for in each category?
I think, from memory, what we've judged so far are Sauvignon Blancs, Chardonnays, Merlots, Cabernets, Pinot Noirs, Shiraz,
some sparkling wine,
some sweet wines,
Sweet dessert wines.
some blends.
Yeah, some blends.
Which we, I think, do you do the same? We call them stickies, you know.
Yeah,
It's a nickname for a
It goes
dessert
good
wine.
with sticky toffee pudding.
You bet. Sticky toffee pudding's good. But yeah, I mean, we've been judging through a whole series of wine categories over the last couple of days, and we're actually looking for the top wine in each of those categories, which will actually go forward toward the top wine of the show.
What would you say are the good qualities in being a wine judge? What qualifies one to judge on wine?
You know, anyone can be what people term loosely as a connoisseur. You need 2 or 3 things, basically. A good memory, the ability to do, you know, taste and smell. The memory build-up is experiencing wines and then remembering what they like.
Yes.
The ability to taste, I mean, every time you eat say a vegetable that you haven't had before, it will remind you of something else. So you say that is palate memory.
Yeah.
So if you can taste and you've got a good memory, you are a connoisseur.
Okay, well then that's...
What's the third thing?
Drink what you like. Don't listen to the bloody experts, so-called experts. I mean, wine is a very, very individual thing. And the wine, we always say the wine you like is the right wine for you.
Come back for some smooth rhythms and blues from an all-star talent. Find some running shoes to jazz up your look and have you dancing in the streets. and discover what it takes to impress a world-class diamond expert.
Do you know anything else that happens in March?
I know that Elvis Presley joined the U.S. Army in March, too.
I didn't know you knew him in such great detail.
I'm such a big fan of Elvis. He's such an amazing figure.
In that case, let me introduce you to another dominant figure in the music history. See if you like him.
John Legend, known by his friends as John Stevens, got his first taste of success in 1998, playing the piano on Lauryn Hill's award-winning album. This began his recognition as an in-demand all-star studio session man. Then in 2004, he released his first solo album and followed that success with another pop soul album this year, Once Again. It's filled with his trademark intelligence, sensuality, and spirit.
I always was a solo artist.
Okay.
I looked at session work as side work.
Okay.
And it was just something to keep me busy on the side while I was getting a record deal. It just took me longer to get a record deal than I had hoped it would. And so I just stuck with it, kept trying, kept getting turned down by some of the same labels that want to sign me. I wish they had signed me now. But, you know, that's what you got to go through. And I went through it. And in the meantime, I got to work with some great people like Kanye and Janet Jackson and Common and Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. All these great people. At the same time, I'm trying to get a record deal.
I know you write all your songs, as you just said. Which ones are your favorite on the album, or which mean the most to you?
On this album, Show Me is my favorite. It means the most to me. It's a spiritual song, and it's very personal for me, and musically is really something different for me, and I really think it's the closest thing to something really beautiful that I've done so far. There's always been music that sucks, and there always will be, and I try to pay as little attention to it as possible. Try to focus on music that challenges me, music that's creative, music that's artistic, and there's still plenty of that being made. And even if it weren't being made, there's plenty of that that's been made, and there's plenty to listen to. So I try to focus on positive.
I know you were nominated for 8 Grammys, and you won 3 of them.
Yes.
Basically, the New Artist, Best Male, Best Album. Did you expect
Something like that,
Did you
yeah.
expect to win? Honestly, the truth.
I expected to win some. You know, you're nominated for 8, you figure you got to win, you know.
At least one.
At least, you know, a couple. But 3 was good.
Yeah.
3 was pretty good.
Obviously, you have your idols, and you were up against them.
Yes.
I mean, were you nervous? I mean, at the end of the day, they were
Yeah,
your
it's crazy.
superstars.
I mean, I was up against Bruce Springsteen. I was up against Stevie Wonder, U2. I was up against some very, very, dare I say, legendary people. And it was pretty daunting.
Yeah.
But I was able to pull off a couple of awards, which is cool. I've been singing since I was a little kid. So I feel like you have to have it in you. And usually you can tell when you're pretty young if you have it in you. And then once you have it in you, you have to cultivate it in some way. Sing at school, sing at church, sing wherever you can sing. Play, you know, develop your chops. And then once you have those, yes, your chops, that means your virtuosity. And then once you have that, you got to work with good people, and you got to be lucky too.
What are your views on Hong Kong? Do you like it
I don't know
so
what
far?
to say yet. You know, it's like when you get to the city, it's very striking. There's all these tall buildings everywhere, and it just seems like it's a very busy, bustling city. And I live in New York, so I'm used to that. But it looks pretty, almost intimidating.
Really?
But I'm intrigued, and I want to come back and really spend some more time here and really learn more about it. It seems like a cool place.
Did you know that the founder of Girl Scouts also started an organization that would mold girls into becoming self-reliant, honorable, and respectable women?
Interesting. I was a Girl Scout myself, too. But why are you bringing this up all of a sudden?
Because they, too, were founded in March 1912.
Nice. I love their uniform. They're supposed to help the girls develop mental discipline. That's why all Girl Scouts are expected to dress alike.
Although I think they're cute, too, I wouldn't anticipate too much. Wearing the same outfit every day, I'd rather choose my own. Sometimes even tailor-make them.
nowadays, trainers can be worn for just about any occasion. Some people even like to wear them with formal suits and wedding gowns. So buying a pair of trainers is no longer something trivial. I guess we're all desperate for a unique pair which reflects our own personality. I know there's a place for us to show off our mix and match skills.
As running shoes become part of the fashion, many people actually own quite a few pairs to go with their outfits. A pair to go with the pink shirt and a pair to go with gold tights.
But no matter how hard we try to find the perfect pair of trainers, we can never find exactly what we want.
Well, there's a new idea in shoemaking that might help you relieve some of your shopping tension.
Well, this doesn't look like a normal shoe store to me. What is it all about, Jason?
Jason, I thought you were taking me shoe shopping. How come all I see is leather pieces and shoestrings? Wait a minute, are we gonna make shoes?
You're quite a shopaholic, aren't you? But you're quite right. This is a DIY section for trainers. At this store, customers can design their own shoe from an assortment of pre-cut fabrics. The workstation provides an outline of a shoe pattern, together with instructions for the creative process. Customers can then select the various pattern pieces from the trays and scan them into the computer. Then the finished product can be previewed in the workstation. Once the design process has been completed, customers pay for the creation and leave the rest to the store. The finished design is available a few weeks later. So now I can even make a pair with zebra pattern sides and green shoelaces.
A refrigerator-like cabinet displays examples of different inspirations and sizing. I wonder who's the master designer behind them. Jason and I have tried out a couple of versions. Which one do you think fits us the best? Well, I think all of them look nice, but I guess I just want to make one on my own.
Luxurious lifestyle isn't always built out with glamorous jewelry and cars. To truly live a sweet life, surround yourself with vibrant colors.
So embrace the beautiful colors around you and stand out from the crowd.
You know, one final discovery from March events were rubber bands. They were patented in about 1845.
Wow, I can't imagine life without rubber bands. The biggest consumer of rubber bands in the world is the U.S. Post Office. They use millions of pounds a year to sort out and deliver mail.
You know, another one is also newspapers. Before they roll and fold each newspaper to deliver to our house, they use rubber bands for that as well.
I think another group would be us girls. Think about it, we tie our hair up and down for special occasions and casual occasions.
Well, that's true, but all I know is that girls will do anything to beautify themselves.
Hello, Patty. I know that your company has been most famous as an auction house, and you've recently exhibited a fabulous collection of one-of-a-kind jewelry. Why have you decided to launch a diamonds collection now?
Yes, Sotheby's Diamonds was launched at the end of last year, basically by popular demand. Well, when we did our feedback from our clients, they actually they like participating in our auctions, but they also like to buy all year round out of the auction calendar, because we only offer jewelry in Hong Kong twice a year by auction, and in New York and St. Moritz and various locations, but there is a need for jewelry all year round.
Can you tell me about your collection?
We specialize in top gemstones, whether they're the flawless diamonds or very rare colored diamonds, as well as beautiful diamond jewelry. We have two lines. One is the classic, modern classic line, and the other is designed by New York designer James Givenchy.
Why have you decided to work with him?
Of all the designers out there, we wanted somebody who understands the value of the gemstones as well as having the flair of design. And we've found working with James very interesting. His use of colors and to design around the stone rather than have a stone to fit his design. I think if you see the collection, you will agree that it's been very successful collaboration.
Do you have a favorite piece?
Yes, I do. There are two pieces I like very much. One is the tree brooch. It's a tree of Palo Santo wood with the diamond leaves as such, and the leaves actually look as if they are fixed on the branches and you can just pluck them off right away. But in fact, the workmanship is so fine that it's backed with a metal plate, but you cannot see the metal work at all.
How much value does a good design add to the stones? And what would you say is a good design?
I think a good design actually makes it a piece of jewelry interesting. It doesn't add value to the stone itself because the stone is there, but it adds value to the piece of jewelry, making it wearable and desirable much more, because then you know, a stone, you cannot just wear it, you have to have a good design. It sits on your finger well or on your neck, so that's the most important thing. It has to appeal to you.
What is the most valuable piece in this collection?
When you say valuable, I mean, we have two signature pieces. One is actually 108 carat, flawless, excellent polish, excellent symmetry, emerald cut diamond.
Wow.
So that's a stunner. The other piece that you know, it's also valuable in terms of per carat, is not as big as the 108. It's actually a 1.7 carat emerald cut purplish red diamond. That's, you know, it's only 1.7 carat, but there's a lot of value packed in there.
Yeah, it's very rare we see a red diamond.
Yeah, that's right, and especially in an emerald cut.
March the 2nd marks the 1-year anniversary of Dolce Vita. How does it feel, Vanessa?
Well, it's been great, and I think I've learned a lot going to all these different places, and I hope you all have as well.
Absolutely. To show us your support, come back next week when we'll continue to bring you more ideas on where to eat, where to shop, and how to live the Dolce Vita in Hong Kong.
And for more information on what's going to happen on next week's episode, check out the website.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.